I recently passed the medical technology licensure exam in the Philippines. However, I didn't actually plan to take it until a month before the exam. And today, I'll share my self study journey for the MTL in the Philippines for a month while also working full time. But just a quick disclaimer, what worked for me may not work for you, so please take everything in this video with a grain of salt. I'm not really an organized person, so I have just a really basic schedule of my boards review as well as my Japanese review and my work and my sleep time. So I would do my boards review after I wake up in the morning because, of course, if I do it after my work or after my Japanese study, I might be too overwhelmed for the day or too tired already to have anything sink into me. And so I do the boards review whenever I can during or after I wake up. But as you can see, my weekends are almost always free. So whenever I can, I would also study during these days. Now let's look at my MTLE planner. So the medical technology licensure exam is divided into 2 days. So we have day one subjects and day two subjects. So day one subjects are microbiology, clinical chemistry, and clinical microscopy. And then for second day subjects, we have hematology, blood banking, and immunoserology, and then histopathology, lab management, molecular biology, the other stuff that we need to study. So I planned it because I only have a month left. I planned it for the first week. First and second week will be the day one subjects. So I have micropara, on the first week, and then second week clinical chemistry, and then the third week will be hematology, the second day subject, and then fourth week ISPB. And if I have any other days left, I would study the other 10% subjects. Okay, so I mainly focus, as you can see here, the 20% ones. So the microbiology or microbiology and parasitology, they are 20%. Clinical chemistry is also 20%. So hematology is also 20, ISBB as well. So the extra days, those are where I would study the 10% subjects, which are clinical microscopy, the other stuff right here at the bottom. So that's basically my schedule. And then as you can see here, this is from a website. I'm not sure if this is like the percentages you can see here. They have been broken down into which areas would be commonly tested or would appear most commonly in the exam. And I have them right here. But this is from a website that was made from years ago. And so I'm not actually sure if this, like, you should like study all this religiously as it is written here, but this is kind of a good guide of what might appear on the exam. So, for example, you can see here in microbiology, it is important to study, of course, the microbiology, which is about bacteria, viruses, and stuff. And then morphology, 50%, culture and identification, 40%. So those things that are here that has those like high percentage, I mainly focused on them when I studied. And then same thing with the other ones, like in clinical chemistry. Clinical chemistry proper has the highest percentage, so I focused on that as well. And then same thing for the other subjects. Now, for books and references, I have here this sheet, which was actually shared to me by a good friend, a good college friend. So, as you can see here, all the subjects we had during our college years, we have here the books as well as the trances that, like, this is like the reference notes, the notes that they have taken during our college years. So, let's say, for example, let's look at one of them. So, this is how the trances look like. As you can see, they are well made, like they are well summarized by those people. Like I do really admire them, and they made this review session really really easy for me. So as you can see here, they are well made. Like these are summarizations or like summarized notes of what you've studied during our um, college years. And then once you go back and click, for example, the books, you'll see here the main textbook that we use during a college years provided by our professor. So, for example, we have used Craft's textbook. These are like online copies. During my study sessions with books, I would often use a separate browser, which is the Microsoft Edge, and I'll show you what I do whenever I study. So I would save my most used books right here in a folder that I made in Microsoft Edge. So let's say, for example, in microbiology, I would open this right here. And then, as you can see right here, you can easily see or like go to a specific section that you want to go. And you can even go to like a specific chapter or like subchapter right here. So that's like, this makes it easy for me to like focus on the things that I need to focus on. And then, of course, for every book, there's like a chapter review section. And then you can answer the question right here, like I did. All right. And during my review, I would also have, like, for example, if there are sections that I want to highlight or want to create an Anki about, I would highlight it like this. So it's kind of easier for me. So as you can see, there are books that has their answer keys and some doesn't have. So for example, this one has this book has. So you can check out right here in this section what would be the answer for specific areas that you have just answered. So I would share with you the sheet that I just showed earlier with all the references and transits. But just take note that for some of them, I no longer have any access. So yeah, check out the ones that you can still access. And now let's go to the nitty gritty details of the things that I used specifically while I studied. So for microbiology, of course, I used Bailey and Scott's that I downloaded from online. So for my study process, I'll read the important chapters, create Anki, and then answer reviews sections. So I for this one, I used the 15th edition because based on our exam, I highly advise you focus on the following chapters, which was helpful for me. And those are, of course, the basic of medical microbiology and then general principle. Like these two chapters right here are so important. A lot of like questions in the exam came from this one. And then, of course, if you still have the time, look at the nitty gritty details of these chapters. But what I did is because I have the transits that I showed you before. So, for example, instead of going to the nitty gritty details right here of Bailey and Scott's, I skimmed through like our transits from before. So, my good classmates have done all the like summarized versions of it. So, as you can see, I was able to like go through all of them, and then there are also even review questions right here that might appear on the board exam, so that this is also helpful. These are also helpful. So yeah, and then like as you can see, the things that are like you need to remember about specific parasites or whatnot are also written right here. And another thing, another major thing that helped me with reviewing and remembering all those this micro organism, because they are a lot. There are a lot, right? So there are a lot. And one thing that really helped me with that is using Sketchy. Okay, so in Sketchy, I was able to download a file that will contain like all the videos that I need to watch. So for example, for bacteria, it is categorized like different types of bacteria. Then, for example, if I go to gram-positive cocci, so I can watch here, for example, all the things about Staphylococcus aureus in a way that I can remember it. So it's like in a story form.
Hi, my name is Andrew
like
Bird.
this.
I'm one of the creators of Sketchy Micro, and I'll be guiding you through this chapter on staph and
And then
differentiated
this
staph
really
aureus
like
pneumonitis.
helped
It's
me
the most
remember
common
the
cause
things
of
that are
enslaved
about them,
slaves
because
used to
like
do for a
this
pencil.
is in
Okay,
a
and
story
that's all from me.
form. So if you guys want to, I can also share this with you guys. And of course, one of the important things or tools that I've used is, of course, Anki. So as you can see here, I have my sketchy microbiome section. So as you can see here, I have made all the um, Anki's for the specific bacteria that I need to learn. So, for example, for gram-positive cocci, you can see that right here. I have this right here. So I have to explain to myself what this means, what this area means. Like all this is related to the specific characteristic that will be able to help me identify that gram-positive bacteria. So this is really helpful for when I was studying or reviewing this specific microorganism. And as you can see, of course, I have like lots and lots and lots of different Ankis that like deck right here. These are the ones that I used during my college years. And so from time to time or whenever I have time, I would also use this or study from this. But I think the most s- important Anki deck that I've used here for my MTLE review is this one that I've downloaded from online because it contains like all the past exam or past reviewers from different types of books. Like for example, from HAR. So this one, so you can see here, this one, like a lot of questions from the MTL exam. Actually, this one has it. I feel like I've just reviewed this and I was able to, even if I didn't study for like HEMA, for example, or whatnot, just reviewing this bacteriology, for example, helped me answer a lot of things. Like I was even surprised. I should have just started with this in hindsight. I have thought that, but I think still studying the books and other references is a great help. But like just having this, answering these questions right here is like really helpful. Like a lot of things came out from this reviewer. I don't know if that'll be the same still for like the 2026 or so on exam, but during my case, I took the MTLE last 2024, so that was 2 years ago. So I'm sorry if I'm just making this video right now, 2 years too late. But yeah, so I think even if that's the case, if you still have time, definitely check out this review deck as well. So yeah, I can also, of course, share this guide with you. Share this as well with you if you want it. So as you can see, I also have here the different chapters of Bailey and Scott's microbiome if you want to study it as well. So yep, now, for other subjects, I also just mainly because I don't have that much time, I mainly use the chances that I have available as well. So, for example, in AUBF, analysis of urine and other body fluids. So, I used reviewers from my classmates, like the one I showed you guys earlier, because these are like compact information right here. So, just try to remember them as much as you can. Okay, and of course, when you have to remember or learn a lot of different things, it's really nice and like helpful to have short videos that can help explain what the topic is about, give you acronyms, give you a story on how to remember those specific things. So for things like that, I would use like videos from Osmosis. They're really helpful. So, and there are also just short ones. But if I need to, for example, dive deep into a process or like the nitty details of things, I would watch Ninja Nerd. And then if there are any other topics that are not covered in both, I would just like look into other videos. So whenever I'm searching for a video, I try to find like the easiest to digest and the shortest one possible. If I'm just learning the basic, so, as you can see, I had made my learning as light as I can with all the things I need to learn in such a short time. And thankfully, my job was online, so I was able to squeeze some Anki reviews here and there. And I think I was probably averaging around 5 to 10 hours per day. I know that sounds much more than the schedule I showed earlier, but yeah, I think I was hitting those hours. And 1 week before the exam, I found myself super cramming. and super regretting and also doubting myself. I really thought I would not pass. Like, how could I? And then I even took this Mac exam online, and I've got like a lot of it incorrectly. So, like, I was already at the acceptance stage that I failed even before I took the actual exam. So, unlike my batchmates that I saw from social media with their like planners and then like sticky notes all over their walls and other paraphernalia, I only had a blank wall in front of me with nothing but a single sticky note saying, "Get your shit together." So, I don't know your circumstances, but there must be a reason you clicked on this video and trying to find some tips to self study. And I really hope you pass. Padayon, RMT.